Hello, good morning. Welcome to 4 Accelerator. I'm your host Zoo, and today I will be streaming some Civ 6 playing the Ottomans. I'm going to do just a basic sort of game, no special modes or anything. It's just going to be the default sort of Gathering Storm gameplay. And I'm picking the Ottomans. Suleiman, that's an S, there he is. I'm going to set it to deity. Standard game speed. Yeah, why don't we do continents? Why don't we do standard size with 8 players? I'm going to leave all these game modes off. I have not played with Heroes and Legends mode yet, actually. Maybe I should play with that. Maybe some other time. I'm just going to leave them all off for now. Disaster intensity, that's fine. If we hop into advanced settings, anything I want to change here, I could go for start position. I could do balanced. That would give me guaranteed access to some early strategic resources, but why don't we just try our luck and see what we get without going with a balanced start. Do I like these colors? Maybe this color. This is fine. And are there any civs I want to put in the game especially? Who would be a good historical rival for Suleiman? Historically, the Ottoman Empire had a lot of rivals. They were invaded by the Mongols and eventually had Mongol emperors. They fought a lot with Europe. Why don't we add in the Byzantines? That'll give us a nice little rival. The Ottomans and the Byzantines went at it a lot. Basil II is a strong warmongering civ combined with religion, so this will give us someone to fight against. We could add in other people because the Ottomans fought with a lot of other people as well. Why don't we just leave it at Basil, though, as a nice sort of foil for us to play against. And yeah, everything's pretty standard. Why don't we just hop in? I'd expect this to be going faster. I wonder if there's any settings I need to change.
From the first stirrings of life beneath water, to the great beasts of the Stone Age, to man taking his first upright steps, you have come far. Now begins your greatest quest, from this early cradle of civilization on towards the stars. All praise to you, Soyerman the Lawgiver, rightly called Magnificent, master of the sublime House of Osman. Your loyal servants stand ready to carry your commands to the farthest corner of your mighty land, while your foes tremble at the sight of your armies. Sultan of Sultans and Khan of Khans, lead your people to greatness.
So while we're loading, I guess I can talk about why I chose to play the Ottomans today. My brother is getting into Civ for the first time, and that inspired me to make a few new tutorial videos for complete beginners and to try to explain the game to complete beginners. So that's going to be sort of my focus today as I stream. A few things might slip my mind here or there, but I do want to explain things as I go, so hopefully anyone who's a complete beginner can sort of begin to understand the game. And this, once I'm done streaming, eventually I'll edit this and put it into my How to Beat Deity series. And I'm also looking for footage to use for a beginner tutorial video that's just on domination victory. So I'm going for a domination victory today. Let's hop in. Don't show that. Okay, click through all this. Oops. You know what? I'm fine with moving there. Let's turn on yields, press the Y button. You could also turn it on by clicking map options. I like having all these labels on, lake labels, desert labels, and right now it's showing the grid and it's showing the yield icons and the resource icons. And I like to do that. So, why am I okay with accidentally moving my settler here? So I started here, and the first thing to notice is that there's no fresh water here. If you're familiar with the housing mechanic, I guess I can try to explain the housing mechanic. Housing is a limitation on the size your cities can grow, and you want your cities to grow because the more population they have, the more yields they get, because they can work more of these tiles with these yields. These are all food right here with the little corn icon. These gears are production. This is science. This is gold. So if you get a higher population city, it can do more for you. It can do more work towards your victory condition. And that's how I always think about things, is like with the victory condition in mind. Whenever you make choices, what victory you're going for, you don't necessarily have to know right away. But as you get into the game, figure out what kind of victory you're going for, and then ask how your decision is going to help you with that. So housing limits your growth. You also want to grow to be able to place lots of districts. So fresh water from rivers, lakes, oases, and the like give you increased housing. So does settling on the coast. If we turn on this settler lens, which doesn't automatically turn on for your first settler, you can see there's no, oops, I want to leave that on. There's no fresh water around me at all. There's just the coast, and you get +1 housing for settling on the coast. Eventually, if you put a harbor and a lighthouse down, you can get more housing from having a coastal city with a lighthouse harbor adjacent to the city. So there's no fresh water. Ordinarily, I would want to settle on fresh water just so that the starting city has extra housing. It'll get some extra housing from the palace since it's a capital, so I won't be totally out of luck settling off fresh water. Settling on the coast is fine. So I accidentally moved away from this spot on the coast, but I'm still on the coast, so I'm still getting fresh water. Now, the other reason I might want to move here is, like, this is an okay spot. It's not fantastic. We do have some wheat tiles that are nearby, and wheat are good. Just like any rice or maize tile, you can put farms down. That'll give you the Eureka boost to your irrigation. Not that we have, well, here's a plantation resource here, the tobacco that requires the plantation to improve. But there's not much here, and so in accidentally moving to this luxury resource, we'll get a few things. When we settle on the luxury resource, we'll automatically connect it, even though we haven't unlocked mining. So ordinarily, to acquire mercury, you'll have to research mining and build a mine on it. If you settle directly on the luxury resource, you get the luxury right away, even without the technology. The other thing we will get is we will get whatever yields this luxury resource gives us. In this case, mercury gives us an extra science. So once we settle the city here, we'll be getting that 1 extra science from the beginning of the game. And 1 science might sound like might not sound like a lot, and at the end of the game it's not a lot, but at the start of the game it is, because you only start with a couple of science to begin with. So that's giving us, something like a plus 50% boost to our science at the start of the game. 50% is a lot. So that's going to be beneficial. If I settled here, for example, on this tobacco resource instead, I would get the faith instead of the science, since tobacco comes with a faith. And the city will also always default to at least 2 food, 1 production in the city. So even though this only has 1 food now, once I settle the city, it'll be 2 food. Another good reason for settling here as opposed to here is just that there is this nice 3 food marsh tile adjacent to us. So once we settle the city, we can immediately start working a 3 food tile as opposed to being surrounded by all these 1 food tiles. In a pinch, even these 2 food grassland tiles are a bit better than starting on plains to start with, in order to grow your population. At least my preference at the start of the game is to grow population first and then worry about production. So I kind of prefer having this grasslandy start rather than this plains-based start. It's also all flat terrain, so this is not a fantastic start, but it should be good enough. So I will settle on the next turn. Why don't I do some exploring? I can see that there's tundra up there, so I'm going to explore down in this direction. And we'll go on to the next turn, and then I will settle my city. Another good reason to settle here as opposed to there is when I do put a harbor there, and I will click map tax, I'll add attack, and just remind myself that I'm going to want to build a harbor. That harbor will receive plus 2 gold for being adjacent to my city center, and it will also receive an extra +1 from being adjacent to a sea resource, so like fish. So it'll get a +3 gold bonus, and that's pretty good for a harbor. Later I might put a commercial hub next to it, get even more gold going. That would be good. Let's see, I'll keep exploring. We found a barbarian, we'll try to take him out, but we gotta settle our city. I do not want to move there. I'm just gonna cancel that and settle in place. So because we settled on the coast, we got the Eureka boost for sailing, which is useful because we kind of want to build harbors and fishing boats to get this city going. Now we've got that lovely, lovely Ottoman theme, which I like. And now that we've settled, why don't we just open up Suleiman here to look at his abilities and talk about those. The reason I picked Suleiman specifically was because I knew I wanted to go for a domination victory. That's just what I felt like playing. And I also wanted to demonstrate a domination victory because I feel like it's the most straightforward. It's the most obvious sort of victory in Civilization, because it's just like any other game with military units on a map or a board. The most obvious victory is just to take out all your opponents and conquer them. But I went with Suleiman specifically to show off the domination victory because he's good at it. He has bonuses to domination, but those bonuses come a little bit late, and they're not bonuses that completely change how you would play the game. So in some ways, he's almost like a sort of vanilla domination civ. He doesn't have any special tricks that you have to be aware of. If we look at Grand Vizier, that's Suleiman's leader ability. He gets an exclusive governor with military and diplomatic abilities, and he also gains the Janissary unique unit when gunpowder technology is researched. The Janissary replaces the musketmen. So he doesn't get like a fancy special unit. We'll go into the Janissary's abilities, but it's just a musketman replacement at its core. So what I do here today with Suleiman, you could replicate with any civilization and achieve a domination victory, or at least, I hope to get a domination victory today. Not that I'm going to play to the end today, probably. I'll probably finish it off later. So he gets a governor. We'll use the governor, and I'll talk about the governor's abilities once we actually unlock a governor title. But moving on to the Ottoman bonus, civ ability, is Great Turkish Bombard. They get plus 50% production towards siege units. All siege units gain 5 combat strength against district defenses. Conquered cities do not lose population. Cities not founded by the Ottomans gain 1 amenity and 4 loyalty per turn. So this is almost like a passive warmongering benefit. If you're taking cities, especially once they have walls, chances are you're going to want to be using siege units anyway. You'll produce your siege units faster. Your siege units will be stronger at sieging. When you conquer cities, there's less of a penalty. Ordinarily, you lose some population from cities when you conquer them. With the Ottomans, you won't lose that population, and you'll also get an extra amenity and some loyalty just to help make your domination game a little smoother. But you don't really need to think about this other than just remembering to make siege units, which you should probably do anyway. There's nothing here that requires like extra thought or planning. It's just something that sort of helps you out. The next thing is finishing off describing the Janissary unique unit that Suleiman gets. Like I said, it's a replacement for the musketman. It starts with a free promotion when you build it. I don't think you get that when you upgrade from a swordsman into a musketman. It's stronger and cheaper than the musketman, so I think it just gets an extra few combat strength points. And the sort of unique thing is that to train a Janissary, a city must have a population of at least 2. If a city is founded by the Ottomans and trains a Janissary, it loses a population. So effectively, it follows the same rules that settlers usually do, where you create one, your city's population goes down by 1. And notice that this only applies for training Janissaries in your own city, which you can do, but because of this population loss, it's not recommended that you produce Janissaries in your own city. Instead, what I want to do is I want to first upgrade, so I want to have warriors, swordsmen that I can, in the first place, that I can then upgrade to Janissaries once I unlock gunpowder. And if I want to create any more Janissaries, I'd like to do so from cities that I've conquered. This only applies to cities that I've founded. So I have some incentive to start conquering early, so that when gunpowder comes around and the Ottomans' strong domination kit comes online, I'll already have some conquered cities that can then produce Janissaries. And if you can find a nice city early on to conquer that's got like high production, then put down an encampment, put down a barracks, maybe an armory, and get prepared to make Janissaries, because they are strong frontline units. You can surround cities with your Janissaries and then just have your siege go to work on them, and that's kind of the engine that the Ottomans build for military domination. And again, there's nothing sort of special there. So using infantry or melee units and siege is pretty commonsensical as a way of taking down cities. So this is just following a sort of vanilla domination strategy. He's just particularly good at it. The Ottomans also have the unique unit, the Barbary Corsair. It's a medieval era naval unit that replaces the privateer. Notice that this is medieval, so the privateer is usually a Renaissance unit that unlocks from the civics tree, and the Barbary Corsair also unlocks from the civics tree, but it unlocks an era earlier, and that's kind of its main strength. With the privateer, you get access to what's it called? Pillaging, raiding, coastal raiding. So you can coastal raid enemies' coastlines, and it's the same as pillaging. You just get certain bonus yields, especially gold. And notice that in addition to coming earlier than the privateer, the Barbary Corsair costs no movement to coastal raid, so you're especially good at it, which means you can easily get your Barbary Corsair and then find someone, maybe on your own continent, maybe on another continent, and just start pillaging them, go to war with them, start pillaging them, just for the extra gold or whatever yields you get from it, and just to boost your economy. just like the privateer, the Barbary Corsair can only be seen by other naval raiders unless it's adjacent to it, unless the unit's adjacent to it, and it reveals naval raiders within sight range. So that's the same as the privateer. But notice that you get yours earlier, so before other people have their privateers, most likely. So you'll be invisible for an extra bit of time, which is nice. Of course, you lose that invisibility as soon as you coastal raid, at least if they have units there adjacent when you're coastal raiding. It's not the strongest unit. It doesn't have any combat advantages over the privateer that I know of. The main advantage is just that it comes earlier, and then it has this no movement cost to coastal raiding. So it's not a huge advantage on its own. I would say the Ottomans' other abilities are more advantageous to them. But there you have it. And their final unique infrastructure is the Grand Bazaar. It's a building unique to Ottomans. You accumulate one extra strategic resource for every different type of strategic resource this city has improved. So if you have iron improved, you'll get one extra iron per turn. If you have horses improved, you'll also get one extra horse improved. And you don't get extra if you have like multiple copies of iron in the same city. Amenity for every luxury resource this city has improved, and this is the way that the Grand Bazaar kind of functions like the old Arabian Bazaar in Civ 5. You get these extra amenities from luxury resources, which again is just sort of a passive boost that helps warmongering, because you're going to get war weariness, you're going to get grievances, so amenities are going to be helpful. And the Grand Bazaar, again, is just something you want to do anyway. It's a replacement for, I believe, the bank. Maybe it's the market. We'll look at the tech tree and find out. But as a warmonger, you're going to want gold, so you're going to want commercial hubs. So you're going to want to build this building anyway, but it just happens to have these benefits that really help your warmongering even more. So that's kind of Suleiman's and the Ottomans' whole shtick. So if we have a look at the tech tree, yeah, the market, and then the Grand Bazaar replaces the bank. And if we look at the civics tree, it's a medieval. Yeah, medieval fairs is where the Barbary Corsair unlocks. So, we've just settled. We need to pick a tech. What do I want? What do I want at the start? We don't have to get mining right away because we already settled on the bonus resource there, or luxury resource, the Mercury. Our borders, probably it's not going to show where they're going to expand. I'd guess it would either expand to the Mercury or to the cattle. Hopefully it expands to the cattle. That's kind of what I would rather work. As far as citizen management here goes, if you're new to the game, you don't necessarily have to worry about optimizing citizen management, but it is an option. You can click that little button. And how this works is every population in your city counts as a citizen that you can assign to these little tiles, and you can decide which ones you want to work. If you don't want to decide, the game will just default to a pretty good even mix, prioritizing like getting as many of these yields as possible. I do want to assign it to this 3 food tile so that the city grows faster, and then once we grow to 2 pop, we'll get another citizen. I'll probably assign him there or there if our borders have spread enough by then. So because we have this cattle here, and that's a good tile that can be improved with a pasture, I think I'm going to want to go for animal husbandry to be able to build pastures and also find any horses that are around us. And even though we are more of an infantry and siege civ, some early horses would be useful for warmongering if we find them and choose to use them. As far as what we built to start, we do have some barbarians that we already found. So I would say my choice right now is between a scout or a slinger. The advantage of the scout is they can move faster and maybe find more tribal villages, maybe find more city-states to get you bonuses. But I think because we already have these barbarians, I'm going to go for the slinger for some extra defense against these barbarians, hopefully keeping the scout away from finding our city so this camp doesn't spawn lots and lots of barbarians. And then with that slinger, we can also hopefully kill a unit and get the Eureka boost for archery, just speeding up our tech game a little bit, which is important to optimize your play in the early game. I am on deity, right? Yeah, just making sure. Getting the boosts early can help you in that early game, and early game boosts help you to snowball and therefore are sort of more beneficial in the long run. So next turn. All right, the scout ran the other way. Let's have a look. We found some other coastline here. We might be on a sort of peninsula out here, in which case, you know, we'll find a civ over here maybe and then just conquer spread that way. Let's get a hit on this spearman, and then we'll heal up the warrior. Alright, 6 turns. Our city's actually, it looks like it's going to grow towards the fish, which is fine. That 2 food tile with 1 gold is alright. So notice what I'm doing and what I'm not doing here. You might think you just have to keep attacking until you kill them, but if I keep attacking, the spearman might be able to kill my warrior. So instead of attacking again, I'm just going to fortify and heal up. The spearman's not going to go anywhere. The barbarians want to defend their camp, so I'm going to heal up. The barbarians don't heal, and then I'm going to attack whenever my warrior's around full health to try to bring it down. I also want to wait to get that slinger out so I can hit it. I want to get that kill with my slinger if I can. We somehow found Chinguetti. This is a city-state I haven't seen before. International domestic trade routes receive +1 faith for every follower in the city of your founded or majority religion. That's interesting. So luckily, I mean, I think really they found us somehow. But we were the first to meet them, so we got an envoy with them, and they gave us this quest. If we train a galley, we'll get another envoy. Getting that first envoy with them, though, is the stronger benefit here. Getting 2 envoys is less helpful. Getting +1 faith in the capital means that we are passively generating faith already, so we will get a pantheon in 25 turns. And that extra faith will help us get that pantheon, whereas if we didn't meet that, if we weren't the first to meet that city-state, we wouldn't be getting any faith, so we wouldn't be going towards a pantheon at all. And it looks like there's some land out this way, so we might be on an isthmus rather than a peninsula. Okay, the barbarians are spawning. I'm going to move into the woods just to get some extra sight, get some zone of control. This warrior has zone of control, which means that if this warrior moves to, say, here, it won't be able to move any further. Of course, there are forests here, so it wouldn't be able to move anyway, but that zone of control is nice. The other benefit of being in the woods is that if you are defending, if this warrior, say, attacks my warrior, I will get some defensive bonuses against them. So for all these reasons, that's why I felt like moving here. If I had fortified there, I would have kept healing and I would have been fine, but I chose to do it this way. So we are working this 3 food tile, and yeah, why don't we work that 1, 2 tile? That'll help get our slinger out much faster, so we can work on that, getting that boost and fighting these barbarians. Yeah, because I don't know, that scout might have. See, it was a good thing that I actually moved here, because that gave me that defensive bonus. That scout might have found someone else's city over here and then reported back, and that might be why they're spawning. So I could fortify here with bonus, but I'm a bit worried that with all 3 of them, they will be able to defeat me. So I'm going to move there so that they can't attack me this turn. Meanwhile, I'm getting my slinger out.
I am fond of pigs. Dogs look up to us. Cats look down on us.
Pigs treat us as equals. Okay. So the question is can I fortify and survive these 2 hits? And I'm not really sure that I can. If I fortify, I'll get a defensive bonus, and I'll get another defensive bonus from being in the woods. But I think I would rather just be safe. I'm going to move here just to do a little bit more exploring. Now I can only get hit once, and I'll be able to take it. After that, I'll probably want to run my barbarian, or my warrior home, and heal him up. And hopefully we'll be able to deal with these barbarians. It's a good thing. In hindsight, I'm really glad I went with that slinger first, because we might have some barb troubles here. Next tech. I could start going for archery right now, and then hopefully get the boost for it, and if not, get archers. Just because this camp is already spawning barbarians pretty fiercely, and because you know, I do intend to go for a domination game, I think that's going to be the play, is to go straight for archery. I also don't need mining right away or pottery right away, although getting sailing or pottery could give us a way to get more housing in the city, and we only have 4 housing right now, and we're already at 2 population, so getting more housing would be good. So I might want the granary from pottery for +2 housing. Alternatively, with sailing, I'll be able to improve these fish, which would give us 0.5 housing per fishing boat. So that's something I want to do, but for now I think I will prioritize defense and go for the archery. Alright, we got a promotion. So I'm gonna promote this unit with the battle cry promotion. That'll be +7 combat strength versus melee and ranged units. And the promotion will also heal my unit. So because I got healed, and because I now have +7 combat strength, I'm not worried about these 2 barbarians killing me this turn. If they both attack, this one will die, and this one will be damaged, and then I can still run away if I need to. I'm also in the woods again, so if they do attack me, I'll get some defensive bonus. 6 turns until Code of Laws, and then I'll be able to put in Discipline to get +5 combat strength when fighting barbarians. Okay, this one didn't quite die, but we did survive, so why don't we run away now? And if we move there, this barbarian can attack our slinger, so I just want to leave the slinger there this turn. And because we have this barbarian trouble, and we're going for archery anyway, I think I'll just start by building another slinger here. We'll get a slightly slower economic start, but these units will pay off in the long run. So why don't we sling that warrior a little bit, and we will retreat to there. And the reason we want to do that is because if we move there, this marsh is rough terrain. We wouldn't be able to move away, but they would be able to attack us. Whereas now, with that rough terrain in between our 2 warriors here, this one cannot attack this one this turn. And that barbarian's going to run away for now. So I'm going to put it in the city and fortify it to heal. In the city, it will heal faster. And I'll just do a little slinging here. Some slinging action. Hopefully they attack us or stay put, and we'll get the kill with that slinger, get the boost to archery. They might run away, though. Let's see. Okay. We got the boost. Now I want to move... Oh, actually, if that warrior... Okay, we could either move the slinger and attack with our slinger. If you get your slinger hit first on the enemy slinger, then it's less likely to be able to kill you. On the other hand, we could also just wipe out this this warrior with our slinger. I think I'd rather move away from that warrior and attack this slinger. And now, if this slinger attacks us, because his health is lower, he'll do less damage to us. And we also got a promotion on this slinger, which is excellent because we'll probably get some damage this turn, and then we'll be able to heal it back up with a promotion. Okay. If this slinger wasn't here, I'd probably want to move back and then promote. But if I move now, I won't be able to promote, and then the slinger will step forward and probably kill this unit. So the safest play is to move one away just so the warrior can't hit us, and then promote, and I'm going to get the volley promotion for +5 range strength versus land units. We heal up. Now we're going to be able to kill this slinger in our next shot, hopefully. Now I have a slight question of whether I want to finish the archery tech before producing, because it might make sense sometimes to produce the slinger faster and then promote up or upgrade up to the archer. But I think in this case, this is ending, the archery tech ends in 2 turns, and then this slinger, which currently sits at 3 turns to produce, will become an archer. We won't lose production that we've invested, but the archer costs more production to produce, so it'll take more turns to produce the archer. But in this case, I think because well, actually, I believe it's 30 gold to upgrade, so it might make sense to hold off on archery, get out this slinger, and then just upgrade both of them since I have the gold to do it. I think I'm going to do that. If I'm wrong and it's actually 60 gold to upgrade, then I think I've made a misplay. But I think it's, if I'm remembering correctly, it's 30 gold to upgrade a slinger to an archer. So let's work off of that. I'll put one more turn into archery just so we'll have it ready. Alright, they did some damage.
Man is the
I definitely want to put discipline in to deal with the barbarians, and we don't have any scouts anyway. I could put in God King. I don't need the faith because I'm already generating faith from the city-state envoy we have. On the other hand, this would speed up, get our Pantheon earlier, and maybe help us get a better Pantheon. The other option is to go with urban planning. Once I get my Pantheon, I'm more likely to go with urban planning, which, especially if I have multiple cities, urban planning will probably be more beneficial than God King. But for right now, I think I'll put in God King, speed up that Pantheon acquisition. That +5 combat strength against barbarians should be enough to help us kill this slinger. Excellent, we got the kill. The warrior's somewhere off there. Don't know where yet, but that's fine. The next thing to do. Let's see, it looks like our border's going to expand there. Sometimes the computer doesn't make up its mind, and it'll actually grow to a different tile than the one it's suggesting it'll grow to. I think I will go for pottery for the time being, just so we can get a granary and get some extra housing and growth. That'll be useful. I think I will start with craftsmanship, and maybe I'll get a builder out and boost that. Maybe I'll switch off to foreign trade and wait to get a builder out. Quick coffee break. Okay. I could step forward and try to get a kill, but I think I'll just wait for my units to come out, and so I'll step into the woods in my city, fortify and heal up that slinger for now, and then I'll have 2 fresh archers. Actually, So I think I did this right where, is that healed up, the warrior? Looks like it is. Yeah, okay. If I had switched off to archery this turn, then the archery tech would have finished, and the slinger would have become an archer, like I said, and take longer to produce. I think that's the order of operations there, so I think I did this correctly. But you know, I'm not going to test it. I could move it into the city and fortify, but I'll get enough healing just being in my city's territory, so that's fine for now. Now I'm going to have 2 archers. I'm going to have to move this guy back into the city to upgrade anyway, so I didn't need to move him out. But I'm going to have 2 archers. That's plenty to deal with barbarians here. It could be a good opening strat sometimes, especially on deity. Some people have a rule of thumb to produce 3 slingers first and then upgrade to archers. And with that, you'll get the boost, the Eureka boost for machinery. Owning 3 archers, and that'll help you get to crossbowmen. And it's nice to have those 3 archers because it'll help you against barbarians, it'll help you against enemy civs if they decide to attack, which they're more likely to do on higher difficulties. But in this case, because I haven't, 2 archers is enough for this barbarian camp. I haven't found any other civs, so I'm not feeling too pressured. So I don't necessarily need to start work on a slinger/archer right now. I could go for a scout, which I haven't built yet, and start scouting out. But I have enough units to sort of spread out and see what's around me, and hopefully find some fresh water to settle on. We do have this, so I might want to settle here or here with my next city. Actually, yeah, here would probably be a good bet. So I could go for a settler right away, or I could go for a builder, improve some tiles. I don't have a lot I want to improve right now, so I might just go for the settler, which is probably an especially good idea because I'm about to grow to 3 pop, and I'm gonna have 3 housing out of 4 housing occupied. And so housing, like I said, limits population growth. When you get to 1 below your housing limit, you start to receive a penalty to your population growth. So you're making a certain amount of food. Suddenly, the amount of that food that actually goes to growing your population decreases. You take a little penalty there, and that penalty gets bigger when you're actually at your housing cap. And you can grow past your housing cap, but it just takes a long time and or a lot of food to do so with all those penalties you're getting. The thing about creating a settler right now is that will decrease my city's population, which is a way of sort of optimizing around this low housing that I have. If I were on freshwater, I'd have more housing and might make a different decision here. But since my city is more efficient at 1 pop or 2 pop, and it's about to hit 3 pop, I might as well build the settler and lose that extra population, and that will maximize the efficiency of the city. Because we are about to produce a settler and get that inefficiency from food specifically, now would be a good time to switch off from like food tiles to production tiles. And I'll set this here so that it focuses on production. The thing is like we don't have any good production tiles around us aside from this wood, so this plains wood. So it's gonna default to these anyway, but in theory, once I grow to the next tier and my food becomes less efficient because of my housing, then production becomes a more efficient use of my citizens, and that's why I want to focus on production for now, even though, that's the theory. Right now I'm still working the same tiles. Okay, we're gonna get archery next turn. We'll upgrade our slingers to archers.
I shot an arrow into the air. It fell to earth.
I knew not where. Alright. It is 60 gold, so depending on how long it would have taken to build the archer, let's see, I've only got 6 production per turn in my city. The base production cost of the archer is 60. It upgrades from the slinger, which is 35. So it would have taken like another 5 turns to produce. Meanwhile, we'll get enough gold soon. I guess in 5 turns anyway. So we'll get the archers out in roughly the same amount of time. Why don't we head over this way? We met a city-state. We were not the first to meet Joburg here. There's all sorts of new city-states that they've been throwing in as they've been removing other city-states and making them major civs. So let's see, this is cities receive +1 production for every improved resource type. After researching industrialization becomes 2 production. I think that is a new suzerain bonus in addition to the new city-state. And their quest is to send a trade route. I wish we were the first to meet them, in which case we would have gotten an envoy and we would have gotten an extra production in the capital. But this just tells us that there's probably another major civ. Probably not up here because that's pretty far north and it'd be a bad settling location for anyone but Canada and Russia, but probably somewhere around here there's a major civ. So this still might be a peninsula. It could be an isthmus. This could be a sort of inner sea, or it could be part of the ocean. We'll find out as we scout. I could upgrade this slinger to an archer right away, but archers have a maintenance cost, so I would prefer to not upgrade until I can upgrade both of these. And even then, if I don't see an immediate threat or an immediate use for my archers, it could make sense to not upgrade them just to save 2 gold per turn. Right now I'm only making 6 gold per turn with God King in. So without God King, I'd be making +5. And so 2 gold per turn is actually a lot until I have some sort of stable source of gold. So it could make sense to just leave these guys at home, explore with my warrior, and if trouble comes, I have them, I can upgrade them right away, but I don't have to do that. I don't have to do that until I actually need those archers. So let's finish pottery and go for that granary, which we might build right after finishing our settler. I think it would have been fine to go for the builder in this case too, because I do want to get that pasture down, and then I can put a farm down to get an extra housing, or get mining, put a mine down for some more production, put a fishing boat down with sailing. But getting that early settler out too will be good, and I think this probably is going to be a good spot for it. It's on fresh water, so it won't have the same housing problems that this city will have, and which is especially important for your second city, because like I said, the capital gets some extra housing to start with from the palace. The next city won't. So if I settled here, for instance, without fresh water, without coast, I'd only have 2 housing in my city, which means that from the get-go, its growth is being hit with a penalty, and food is being less efficient. But here, it's on fresh water, it's on the lake, and it would have this strong 2-2 tile next to it. It would have this strong 3 food tile, this 3 food tile, and a luxury within range. This other luxury in range too. It's got this nice spot for a harbor. So I'm going to try to scout down there, but it looks like that's probably somewhere around there's going to be a good spot. So unfortunately, it looks like Joburg cleared out that barbarian camp, so I don't get the gold from that camp, and I don't get the boost to bronze working from killing 3 barbarians. I've only killed 2, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, and I don't get the clear a barbarian outpost inspiration boost to military tradition, which I would have liked. All good reasons to clear out an encampment first, but Joburg got there. So we might as well just explore at this point. And now we've met Hungary.
Én vagyok Magyarországnak királya, ellenségim ostora, az igaz híveknek védelmezője. Üdvözöllek.
Üdvözöllek. I don't speak Hungarian. Yeah, let's find our capitals. So we got the boost to writing by meeting another civ. So I didn't put him in deliberately, but this is kind of a good opponent to put in the game. Hungary and the Ottomans clashed several times. In fact, Matthias clashed with the Ottomans and went to war with the Ottomans. So this makes sense. They're also a pretty domination-leaning civ. They can be a fairly strong diplomatic civ as well, but I'd say domination is sort of their main focus, just like ours. So it's pretty cool to have them in the game. Right now, he's got 116 military strength. You can check this in a couple ways. One is to turn on these little ribbons here in your settings. So this is just a pro tip for you guys. Go to interface, show yields in HUD ribbon, and I've set it to always show, which is not the default, but maybe it should be. Otherwise, you won't get this here, but you can still check military scores by opening up the world rankings and hovering over each of these players, and it says he's got 116 military strength. We only have 46. Once we upgrade our archers, or our slingers into archers, we will have higher military strength, which we might want to do soon, actually, now that we've met Hungary, just as a way of, you know, flexing and showing that we have military strength to make him less likely to attack us. On the other hand, if we bait him to attacking us with a low combat strength and then all of a sudden upgrade our units, we could, you know, trick him, trap him, destroy his units, and then maybe go on the offensive. For now, though, he's not really close to us. He might have another city here because the deity AI does start with extra settlers. And even if he doesn't have one now, he'll probably settle up there fairly soon. That looks like a nice settling spot, better than ours. So we might just try to settle in his direction before we actually go to war with him. But we'll be looking probably to go to war with him as our first target of opportunity. Why don't we explore down here with our slinger for now? We won't move it too far, just so we'll be able to move it back and upgrade it quickly if need be. Just on the off chance, well, I'm planning to go to war with him anyway, so I'm actually kind of fine if he starts a war. So I think I'm going to just save my gold, not waste it sending a delegation. I could... He'd give me, right now he'd give me 3 gold per turn for 30 turns for that Mercury. Which isn't as much as I would like. But it is better than nothing, and that is a plus 50% advantage over what I have right now. So I think I'm going to do that. If I hold on to my luxury, do I really need it right now? Right now I'm getting +1 amenities in the capital. That luxury resource that I have is giving me +1, because each luxury resource you have improved, each unique luxury resource you have improved, gives you +1 amenity in up to 4 cities. And because I only have 1 city, it's only giving me 1 amenity. If I lose that amenity, I don't think they recently changed the like the statuses of cities and the number of amenities, and I can't remember them off the top of my head. I'm going to open up my city status page. So right now they're content. If I lose that amenity, they'll still be content, so I won't have any penalties to anything. I think it makes sense to sell off that luxury in this case. And usually you don't necessarily need amenities. If you take a slight penalty to your amenities and your cities aren't content, but they're just like dissatisfied, you get a little bit of a penalty. Maybe it's like 5% to food and production, but not a big deal, and it could be worth it just to get that gold anyway. The reason I wanted to do it on this turn is because I don't send him a delegation, he's likely to be kind of upset with me next turn, and he might give me less gold next turn. I'm not sure. It could be that he wants it next turn and would pay more for it, but that's the play I'm using. We can't quite kill this. But why don't we... There's probably... Unless this is the scout from earlier that just went up this way. There might be a barbarian encampment up in the Great White North, eh? So why don't we move our slinger out to try to cut off this scout, and we will sling it once. Unfortunately didn't get the kill, but we will get some vision here, and we are beset on all sides by these filthy barbarians. Fortunately, Cinguetti is likely to deal with or have dealt with any barbarian outposts down here, but hopefully we can get some more barbarian kills, get some boosts out of doing some exploration. That is a spearman. That spearman can wreck our slinger, so I want to move our slinger away. And it looks like this scout might indeed be reporting back to the barbarian outpost, which would not be bueno for us. Okay, there is an encampment. There's also a tribal village. So what I think I'll do is, I have enough gold to upgrade my slingers into archers. I will do that and defend from barbarians on this side. Meanwhile, I want to take out this outpost with my warrior, which hasn't... this barbarian scout didn't see us yet, so that's the plan.
I thought clay must feel happy in the good potter's hand.
Oh, there's a tribal village there. Alright, why don't we move you down. Upgrade you to an archer. I think I will get the kill here. Okay, we found more coast. Bronze working. Probably makes sense to go for bronze working next. We could also try to get riding and go for an early campus, but I think our priority in this early game will be to go for units and just rush Hungary. That's probably the best plan. So I think I'll forego the campus for now and go straight for bronze working, which we just got the boost for. We can choose our pantheon now. So right away I scroll down to look for religious settlements just to see if I could get a free settler, which is pretty strong. That's been taken. So what do I want to pick instead? Faith could be good for our domination game in the mid game. When we have access to Grandmaster's Chapel and our government plaza, we can faith purchase land units. But I think I want to prioritize war at the start and not really focus on getting a holy site down. So I'm not planning to go for religion. So I don't want to, even though I'm next to a desert, if I wanted to, I could put a holy site there with desert folklore. That would get a decent amount of faith, which could then be used for Grandmaster's Chapel units, as I said. But what do I want here? It looks like someone already took God of the Forge as well, which would also be a strong option for early war, help us get units out faster. And God of Craftsmen would be my next first choice for early warmongering, just for that extra production boost. But we don't have any horses near us at our start. Here are some horses here. And, okay, the Danube River is there, so there is a decent spot to settle there. If I turn on my settler lens by pressing 4, I think... at least I think there's a river there. We haven't discovered it. Yeah, there should be a river there. We just... Oh, no, because... Yeah, okay, so maybe the river tile is next to this one, which would still be in range of the horses. I'm just thinking if maybe we want to settle up here on that river to get the horses before we settle down here. That's also like closer to Hungary, which puts us in a more advantageous position. I think I'll do that. They're not likely to settle here. They would lose it to loyalty pressure from our capital, so we'll probably want to settle up there. So We could get God of Craftsmen. Hopefully we have some iron around us. We do have this horses that we can get to, but that's not a whole lot of, that's not a strong benefit for just like one production. We do have some marsh around us, and we could get Lady of the Reeds and Marshes for +2 production from that marsh. If we settled here, we'd get 1, 2, 3 marshes. We do have some desert here, so there might be an oasis in there. We don't really have any desert floodplains. Fishing boats, we do have some fish, but we're not going to improve those right away. That's kind of the problem with all of these things. Most of them require improvements or holy sites to be useful. So there aren't a lot of super strong options here. Let's see. Culture from plantations could be strong with these plantation things. Culture from pastures could be good. We could put a pasture here and on the horses and there for culture. And early culture is strong, even if you're going for like a domination or a science victory. Just getting your policies can be good. Especially, it's nice to have some other source of culture if you're not planning on building lots of theater squares, and I'm not really planning to build lots of theater squares. So the culture could be good. Lady of the Reeds and Marshes could be good. It's a tough choice. I think in this case, I will just try to get some early production, because this city is not very good since it's not on fresh water. We didn't have many good tiles around us. This will at least give us a really solid tile, and hopefully we'll get more use out of it later. This is a sort of short-term pick. Marshes and oases and desert floodplains aren't necessarily... Desert floodplains are the most permanent of them. Marshes aren't super permanent. Eventually you'll probably want to replace them with farms. But for now, this 2 production now will help us quite a bit in the short term, which early benefits lead to much bigger benefits later. So yeah, I think that's a good choice. And how did we... We're still building our settler. Weren't we at 3 pop before? What did we do? That's weird. I was pretty sure we hit 3 pop. Oh well, we're hitting 3 pop now. Okay, and we're still going for craftsmanship, which is fine. I'll probably go for a builder right after building the settler, so I might switch off of this before it actually finishes and try to get the boost to finish it. So before I move this slinger out to take that tribal village, I'm going to upgrade it, just in case there's a barbarian waiting for us on the other side. I'll just heal that archer up for now. I want to get the tribal village, and then I'll take a few whacks at the barbarian encampment. Alright, he'll try to suicide onto us. We could just get the kill right now. Let's try our luck here. Hey, we got it. Okay, so we got the boost to military tradition. We got some extra gold. All good things. And city-states can't pick up tribal villages, so we don't have to worry about that. Let's get the goody hut there. We got experience, and this was our less promoted unit. That experience might have been better in our more promoted unit, because this one could have gotten experience from barbarians. Now that this one's level 1, it gets much less experience from barbarians. So if you're only fighting barbarians, you're not likely to get many promotions past your first one. But take our experience where we can get it. And because I have 1 envoy, and getting a second envoy in Chinguetti would do almost nothing for me. Getting 3 envoys would be beneficial if I had a temple or a consulate, but not, and it would give me the suzerain bonus, but I think I'll just put it right away into Joburg and get 1 production in my capital, which right now is my only city, so that'll be useful. What did happen here? I was so confused because I thought it was gonna grow earlier, but I guess it didn't. Or maybe I just spent so long talking that I didn't pay attention. Yeah. So you can see the effects of being at the population limit, because now, like, even if we worked all food, maximize our food, it would still take 21 turns to grow to the next pop. So that's why, to be maximally efficient, we should prioritize production right now, and then we get the settler out, and then we might focus on food again. We're also getting science from that Mercury, just because that's the tile we're working, and that science is pretty good. Again, it's only one science, but it is almost a fifth of our total science per turn, so quite a lot. That's 20%. Okay, okay, that guy runs away. Shoot her! And let's just get a little bit of exploration there before we promote. If you promote first, then you lose all your movement. Let's get the volley promotion. We cleared that camp. Let's just explore a little. Okay, we found some ocean. There is a passage to the north, at least as far as we've seen. Now that we've cleared vision to Chinguetti, we could send them a trade route if we were so inclined. This
Who deserves more credit?
river just name here really makes it look like the river's here, but maybe it's there. Alright. If I stay here and shoot, the spearman will be able to attack us on its next turn, but our archer will do so much damage with this hit, and the archer, well, its melee strength is lower than its range strength, but it still gets, I think, yeah, oh no, that's range strength. Anyway, we wounded the spearman so much now that if it does attack us, it won't be too devastating. Okay, there are horsemen spawning. Hopefully the horsemen just go for Chinguetti and die against its walls, and don't bother us none. Hopefully. Okay, it does look like the river is kind of going that way, so settling here to get these horses might be a good bet. Also puts us in range of that stone. I will take his delegation. Fine lace, a crossbow, paprikash. I'll take his delegation. That's 25 gold. That's now in our bank. Might as well cross the river, since we'd only get one movement anyway. Ah, the horseman is coming our way. So I want to take a step back and shoot it, hopefully kill it. Yeah, we killed it. And now this spearman can't attack us. Let's shoot the horseman that's closer to our city and our other archer. Lake Van. Okay, one more turn in craftsmanship, then we'll switch off. 2 turns until our settler's built. Do. Got the kill. Do the damage. Yes, they send you lots of notifications that you're at housing or that you lack amenities. That doesn't mean you actually need to pay much attention to it. So even though you'll get spammed with these messages saying your city is full, needs more housing, or your city needs amenities, housing and amenities aren't like the most important thing. So you're not losing if you need housing or if you need amenities, even though they send you these nasty red icons. So don't worry about them too much. It's useful information, but you don't have to spend all your time making sure you have housing and amenities. Housing and amenities don't win the game. I'm glad I have these archers now to help deal with all these horsies that are... Alright, and it does make sense to send this settler away from the barbarians. This is probably where I would settle first, if I weren't really going for a warmongery type game, but I think in this case, settling here is a good bet. So I'll move there. And I can't move to either of these tiles because they're rough terrain, so I'm just going to scout, get a little bit of vision there, then move there. And then, aha, we do have some floodplains here. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, so now we're down to 2 pop. I don't want to prioritize production right now, but let's see. 7 turns. 7 turns to grow. And I would produce a builder in 9 turns. Maybe I forgot to switch that off. I'm not sure, but I'll switch it off now. I do want to get out that builder. What if I work this tile instead? 10 turns to grow, but I'll finish the builder in 7 turns. That's a little bit more what I'm interested in right now. So I'll go with that spread of citizens, and everything else is where I want it. Do 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 do. Okay. Wipe them out. All of them. I want to, even though I could probably kill that spearman with this archer, I want to get this horseman so that if it did make its way out, although these guys have zone of control, it wouldn't devastate this archer quite as badly. So let's move this guy out. And we can see that the that Hungary's loyalty pressure is extending sort of this far. So I guess he doesn't have another city on this side, which is probably good for us, because if he did, we might not be able to settle as far forward as we're going to try to settle. Okay. Oh, he does have a city here. Now the question is, do I want to settle here or here? I think I'm probably... I mean, this spot has the advantage of getting us closer to this luxury and the wheat, but we don't necessarily need the wheat because we do have some strong tiles. We'll have more strong tiles around us if we settle here right away, because we'll have this stone on a hill and the sheep on a hill. So I think I'll probably just go with that one. They're equally close to the horses, which is sort of my main concern right now. Okay. More horses. And we'll take out that horse. So this horse might do some damage to our archer, but it shouldn't be too much. But there's another horse waiting in the wings. Alright, let's get what damage we can. Let's back up a tick. Fire. I should have moved to there so that I could get into the city right away if need be. This way it'll take me 2 turns to get into the city. Not totally optimal there. And there is a barb camp, but we'll be able to move and settle on the next turn, so we don't have to worry about that for right now. That's kind of really unfortunate. But once we settle, the barb camp will just disappear. The spearmen will still be there, I think, but oh good, so the horsemen didn't attack us. I do wish that we could step into the city right now, but only 1 horseman should be able to attack us anyway, so wow, this thing is just spawning so many horses. My next settle location might actually be down here, just so we could get these horses. In fact, we might settle on the horses. Although I do like pastures as tile improvements. Let's see. I'm going to move you there just to deal with the spearmen, and it looks like this is the best spot to settle. So he might have just settled that city, or it might have just grown in population or something. But we'll settle our city there. Hopefully we don't have to worry about any loyalty pressure, too much loyalty pressure from his cities. This doesn't look like great settling land, so I don't expect him to settle over here. Whereas, given Hungary's abilities that benefit from rivers, this actually would have been like a fantastic settling location for Hungary. But we got there before him. So what can he do? Now, as far as what we're doing in this city, I'm going to set it to default to food and production. That's just what I usually do. Do I want 3 food and 1 production, or 2 and 2? I think I'll go with 3 and 1 to start with, and the next one will go to that. I would like this horse tile, but I don't need to buy it right away, because hopefully I can expand to it before improving it anyway. What do I want to build? I could, so my main considerations here are whether I need a unit right away. And he does have a fair amount of military strength, but I probably want to build military units here and move them over. Here, I think I want to focus on infrastructure, which would be either a granary, a monument, or a builder. I'm already building a builder in my capital, and I'm going to move it over. And actually, maybe I should even build like 2 builders and use one here and one over here, because this actually has like better things to improve for right now that are in range. So another builder would be useful, but again, we could build a builder more cheaply here. And it sort of makes sense to build builders from your more productive cities and move them over to your less productive cities. And this could be a fine city eventually, but right now it's just less productive than the capital. So I think what I would rather do is focus on building a building that would give me infrastructure, because you can't build that in another city. I could wait until I have more gold, and I might do that and purchase a builder, perhaps. But it's between, so right now I'm thinking between one of these two. I don't really need the extra food or housing, so I think my choice is we'll get that monument. That'll help us grow to these good tiles sooner. So I think that's the way to go. It'll also give us some extra loyalty if we need it, just in case. So that's a good bet. Now, instead of building that monument, I could wait, get 240 gold and buy the monument, and that would be less time than it takes to build it, but I'd rather save my gold just in case I need it for something else later. And someone built Stonehenge. That barbarian outpost came up. The barbarians are near our city. Okay. Let's see if those barbarian horsemen come our way. Okay, they got distracted. Keep it safe in our city. Move up onto this hill in our territory. We'll be able to heal from there. So many horsemen. Hopefully get the kill. Get it down to half health. Want to heal up on this hill. Just what I was hoping for. Alright. All of the barbarians should have spawned, so now we can just get a unit down to clear that camp. And we got our builder here. We're about to be able to afford another builder. So I think I will use this one to improve this city a little bit, which could kind of needs it. I think I will go for a mine just to get that luxury back. that we had already sold. So we sold our first copy to Hungary, and now we can get our second one. And also, a mine's not a bad tile. We'll also get a boost out of it. And then I'll probably put a farm down in a pasture over here, and then buy a builder over here. Maybe by that time we'll get more gold, and we can purchase that tile and improve it. Okay, now I think I do need more military. So I'll get started on an archer, our third archer, which will give us a boost to machinery, which won't be relevant for a while, but still be good to have. Then we'll know where iron is, and we might want to, if there's like iron here, for example, we might want to settle and get it first.
Bronze is the mirror of the form, wine of the mind.
Okay, we are potentially getting a dark age. Hopefully that doesn't mean, if he gets a golden age, he might put more pressure on this city, which could be bad, but hopefully we'll get a governor and stuff before too long. The other benefit to getting this monument is getting early culture. Now I'm kind of thinking I probably should have gone with with purchasing the monument here, but purchasing a builder will be useful, and maybe more useful in the long run, so we'll see. The amount of turns to build this monument will also decrease as we get more citizens in here and work more tiles, so nothing to worry about. We're going to build a pasture soon, and we are going to hook up horses, so maybe we just want to go straight for horseback riding now, and those horsemen can help us deal with Hungary. So I think that's my plan. Because this is in the classical era, it's a classical era tech, but we're not in the classical era yet. We have a slight penalty to our science towards these techs, so it'll take a little bit longer, but we are just 10 turns away. Well, yeah, 10 turns. 10 turns is quite a bit. Maybe it makes more sense to go for another thing for 10 turns. What else would be useful? We're about to get a mine, so we could get some heavy chariots. I think I'd rather just wait for horsemen over heavy chariots, though. I don't need this yet. I don't need irrigation yet. Sailing could be good. Riding could be good, even though I'm not going to put it down a campus anytime soon. I think to optimize my science and not incur penalties, I think I would go for one of these, but I'm not really going to use them. I think I would rather just go for horseback riding. Put 10 turns into that, and then after 10 turns, we'll still be in the middle of it. And we'll also get the boost to it by putting down a pasture either here or here. So I think I'm going to go with that. Let's put down a mine. Just keep healing up there. Well, the city-state blocked us. That's kind of rude, but whatever. What are you working now? That tile? That's good. That's the one we want. See, that already cut our monument time in half. This scout is across a river. I doubt it's going to come this way, but just in case it does. The other thing is I can move my warrior up here because I saw a barbarian up there, but I'll just leave the warrior there. For now, I'll put it, I can't put it on alert because there's an enemy nearby, but I'll just skip its turn. Let's see, we will grow to there in 2 turns. I will put down the farm in the meantime. Question is, do I want to work it right away? We are currently at 3 pop. I think I will focus on production for now, for all the reasons we already mentioned. And then once I put a pasture here, we'll get an additional housing. So then maybe we'll focus on food again, which will be more efficient. And this is just fine, working these 2 tiles. A wild scout appears. Well, is there any way that I can make the city-state not kill this and we get it instead? Is this on a hill? Yeah, it's on a hill, so I can't even swoop in with this guy. I guess if they hit it once and don't kill the scout, then we can shoot the scout with that one, move in with that one. So I'm not going to do any damage this turn, otherwise the warrior might be able to take out that scout. And this is just a housing notification. We do have the gold to purchase a builder here, so I believe I will do that for 215. Not bad, not bad. Okay, hopefully they did enough damage for us to kill it in 1 hit. That was rude. Well, at least we get the gold. We should be able to survive another hit. I'd really like this guy to move so we can bring our other archer to bear. We'll get a couple of boosts. We'll get the pasture boost here, and then we'll get a boost to masonry by putting a quarry down on the stone. Everything's coming up. Suleiman. Maybe the horseman will attack someone else. I don't know. He attacked us. Okay. Can we get the kill here? It looks like we can. The safe play would be to move it back. But if we move it back, we won't be able to see it because there's rough terrain in front of it blocking our shot. Let's just do that. Let's move this here so this guy can't move back in our way. Let's put our pasture down. Boom! Boosted, boosted.
Inspiration is a mere reed shaken in the wind.
Okay, we are still fighting barbarians. I think I want a Goge at this point because we are building military and we're going to want a lot of military. Earlier I purchased a builder. If I were going to hard build a builder, then I would want to have Ilkham in probably. But I think I'll get more production out of urban planning. So that's why I wanted to purchase the builder earlier instead of waiting for this card. So now I can put urban planning in. I'll get +1 production in each of my cities. And I have this Agoge card in. So we're going to be a production military unit producing powerhouse. And we're still doing foreign trade here. And we can put a pasture here. So now we've got 3 good tiles to work. Or, you know, maybe more. Yeah, we could do these 3. Actually, this right now is the most efficient because our archer will still be 2 turns, even if we put these on production. See, still 2 turns here. But if we put them on food, our city will grow in 7 turns and we'll produce the archer in the same amount of time. Why don't we do that? And we still want these. I found you, barbarian. So, because this guy's on a hill, he can shoot over these rainforests. So we'll just get a pop shot there. Oh, there's a city-state here. Let's meet them. Anshan, another city-state that I haven't seen before. But it looks like this is the replacement to Babylon, which gives science from great works of writing and relics and artifacts. So now that Babylon is a major civ, they've replaced the old Babylon city-state with Anshan. Anshan, maybe? Who knows? Someone knows, but it's not me. I think I heard a barbarian outpost spawn somewhere. I'm not seeing it. Okay, so there's iron in the Hamad Desert, but nowhere where we would actually want to settle. So I think I made the right choice going for horseback riding, because it doesn't look like iron's going to really help us out. Hanging Gardens. Okay, could go for an encampment, but I think just prioritizing these units like we have been doing makes more sense. Okay, what's the next unit I want, though? Do I want a warrior, archer, or spearman? A spearman will be good in case he has a heavy chariot or he gets horsemen. It kind of depends how early of a rush we want to try. I think maybe another archer, though. Well, we definitely want another warrior to help us siege the city, or another spearman. Let's just go with the spearman, because we know we're going to want some sort of melee unit, and that'll help us diversify our force a little bit and be ready for anything that might come our way. But we probably will want archers before too long. Let's just explore this side of the map as well. Let's get this goody hut. Classical era in 3 turns. We just got the boost to foreign trade. That might have been from the goody hut. Okay, the goody hut, yeah, because we still have only found one continent. Actually, we found Africa somewhere. I don't know where Africa is. Maybe, oh, this is it. Yeah, okay, so I think we got the boost to foreign trade from finding this one tile of the African continent, which is a pretty odd place for it, but when we were on, what, Zealandia? Yeah, we're on Zealandia. And we also got the boost to state workforce, which was good because we weren't going to go for that one. We weren't really planning on building an early district. So that is pretty fortunate for us. We're also going to get the boost here to masonry. I still think I want a Gogain. I'm not building any naval units, and I want a trader before too long, but I think getting the production is the best bet for now. Since we have boosted state workforce, why don't we go for that? We should get our 6th population. We'll get it in 2 turns, so we will get the boost to early empire soon anyway. I guess the question is, do we want to settle one more city before we go to war? And I think the answer is yes. Maybe we'll focus on horsemen for our early conquest. So I think we do want to settle an early city. So we're going to get the boost to this in 2 turns. We might as well start working on it now. And then we'll get this colonization card to produce settlers. That's what I kind of want to go for, to get out another settler. Meanwhile, I'll be building military in my capital, as we already discussed. Let's just do some more exploring here, see how far this land goes. If I can get one more era score this era, somehow, I will get a normal age in the classical era, which would be useful. Okay, increased our trade route capacity. Let's just heal up this archer before we send him anywhere. How can we get some era score? We might not be able to. Hopefully that's fine. Our monument's going to be done. We'll be able to get governors before too long, so maybe we will be able to hold on to what we're taking. And I will just wait for this to get in our empire naturally through culture, so I'm just going to put this builder to sleep for now. Hopefully I don't forget about it later. If I could just randomly meet like one more city-state or one more civ, then I could probably get the era score I need, but... Do boosts count? No, boosts don't count in this mode. Oh! There's another civ here, but I can't quite see them. Maybe they have a unit there? No. Oh, I was so close. If I had met them, I would get one more era score, and we would have a normal age. Darn, that's too bad. It looks like this, even though it is ocean tile, it's sea tile. It's the Black Sea, actually, which makes sense. This is just a small sea, so we might actually want to settle. We might not even bother with a harbor here, honestly. Although, I mean, it could still be good for the gold. It's just like having the navy here probably won't help us. Unless there's some outlet in that direction, but it doesn't look like there is. So settling down in this direction might be good anyway, and we might actually end up not going after Hungary. We could go after this, which does actually look like it's kind of purpley, so it could be Byzantium. Could also be Rome. But I'm glad we made the choice for early empire, because we're going to want a settler out to get our cities kind of more clumped and have more loyalty that way. We're probably going to want to settle there and over here. But that's the classical era, and I think I'm going to take a break there. Thank you for watching the stream, or for watching it later on YouTube. If you have any thoughts, comments, I'd love to hear them, so please leave a comment. And if you like the channel, please like and subscribe for more content. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Bye.